And welcome to the Regional Radio Sports Network at RRSN.com, the Week 12 Penn preview for the Regional Championship here Friday night at Freed Field. Adam Demaree alongside me, Cory Yeoman, head coach of the Penn Kingsmen. And, Coach, first off, congratulations on the win last Friday. An interesting game, weather, wind, a lot of extra elements off the field, and then on the field, 13 fumbles. Interesting ball game, something that I haven't seen as a broadcaster, but at the same time, I know it was really fun for you guys. You win 41-6. How do you get it done?
Well, you know what? Our kids were mentally prepared. I mean, it was tough conditions. I mean, that's some of the stiffest wind I think we've ever played in here, and you had the rain and the sleet and the snow and whatever else was flying out of the air from Antarctica or wherever that was flying from. So, I mean, everything was blown across the wind horizontally. So it made an interesting game because there's a scenario right there that one team has the wind and the other team does not, and it's going into a gale force wind. So somebody always has a major league advantage. So I thought I think the first drive of the ball game really helped us out a ton. The offense did a great job and chewed off almost 8 minutes off the clock. We didn't score, but we moved the ball and we ate a lot of it away, and we were able to punt, have a decent punt and get the ball off, and actually had some positive yards on a punt because I was worried about it flying back over the punter's head with that kind of wind. And then luckily went 3 and out, and then our offense drove down and scored, and with maybe under a minute left to play in the first quarter, and they only had 3 snaps, and we were about to get the wind. So I think that was a huge part of the ball game.
When you look at as a coaching staff going into the game, I'm sure you had one game plan, and then you got a bunch of weather conditions and stuff off the field, as we mentioned, that's got to change that game plan a little bit. How do you as a coaching staff adjust when certain circumstances like last Friday night occur?
Well, you just got to see what you can do and try to, don't put your team in a situation they're going to fail. Try to put them in situations where they can be successful and plays that they can be successful. And, it would be hard throwing the ball vertically down the field in a win like that. That would have been very, very tough to do. We threw it a little bit, but not very much either way. So I think you take advantage of what's offered to you, and that's the key thing, whether it's on offense or defense or special teams.
Looking at the defensive side of the ball, as I mentioned, you forced them to have 10 fumbles, and you recovered 9 of those 10 fumbles. So obviously, someone's doing something right defensively. Talk a little bit about what the Wild Bunch were able to accomplish last Friday.
Well, probably one of the biggest fumbles probably was the first one of the game, which was a special teams fumble. We kicked the ball off and it caught the wind, hit, and came rolling back, and we were able to cover that. And I think that was a big play. Joey Mammaleni did a great job, getting it out of there and recovering it for us. And again, put us up by 2 scores, which was big. But then the rest of the game, playing a team that had really a good option attack with a good quarterback, I thought we tackled the mesh and we hit the mesh pretty well. And I think a lot of those fumbles were caused by, maybe one of the defensive ends or defensive tackles or linebackers hitting the ball at the mesh point. A lot of times that's where the fumble occurred.
And as you mentioned, special teams did a fantastic job, caused a couple of turnovers in that first half, recovered some fumbles, and set your offense up for some pretty good field position as well.
Yeah, he did. Bailey Mott, a young sophomore, got the ball and had a nice return, went across the field and got us into a positive situation, which was good. I think our special teams were huge in that game because it could go bad in a hurry with that kind of a win. We protected extremely well. Trying to kick extra points, we had to go for 2 the first one because during pregame, all of our extra point tries, you think it's only a 20-yard try, but half of them were landing about in the middle of the end zone. So, again, there's no reason just to try it. We thought we had a better chance of maybe going for 2.
When you look at this team overall, 11-0 now, and of those 11 games, you've been on the road 7 of those 11 games. Really a chance for this team to bond on the bus and really create some good team chemistry. Touch a little bit of those dynamics, as this team seems like every time they're on the road, it's a very business-like approach.
Well, that has a lot to do with their senior leadership and how they act and how they carry themselves and what they do and what they don't do and how they prepare mentally and for a game. Everybody always talks about the physical part of the game, but the mental part of the game, the mental approach, getting ready for a game is huge, and our seniors have done a great job showing our younger underclassmen how we do things around here. So very, very happy with that. You play in some tough environments, and I think that helps you in a tournament. We played in some, had some big road games in the regular season, and that helped prepare us play for a couple, being on the road the first 2 weeks of the tournament and being successful. So our kids are used to traveling naturally and traveling some distance and playing in tough conditions when we get there. So I think all that plays a factor.
Well, this week you're going to be back home here at Freed Field, and this time it'll be Merrillville's turn to come into a hostile environment. I know the fans will be ready to welcome their team back home here at Freed Field. Talk a little bit about the atmosphere and what it's going to be like on Friday.
Well, it'll be a great atmosphere. Our fans do a great job, rain or shine, or sunny or cool. They come out to the game and watch the Kingsmen play, and that's great. I mean, it's always a blast running through that tunnel. At Freed Field and in front of our fans, and our guys get really charged up for that. So we're going to have to be charged up because we're playing a team that's really, really improved as a football team. They've avenged two of their earlier season losses, and in doing that, they beat one team that was 8-1 and one team that was 9-1. So getting their running back, their tailback back, their quarterback back healthy again. They're hitting on all cylinders now.
Well, let's talk about Friday and the keys to the game, offensively, defensively, and I know every week in and week out, special teams as well. What do you got to do to win?
Well, first of all, offensively, they've got a couple. That's with their tailback back, and their quarterback or dual quarterbacks. They can sling it over the field, and the quarterback's also a threat to run. And they've got athletic receivers out there. Defensively, very stout up the middle, and got great skill position guys with great team speed. Probably the best team speed we've seen all year long. Snyder has outstanding team speed as well. Washington has some great team speed, but top to bottom, and with this many guys, Merrillville's probably the fastest team we've seen all year long. So they're very explosive. So to do that, you just got to try to keep the ball in front, not make big plays, and tackle extremely well defensively. Offensively, we've got to find a way to move the football and get first downs, and stress their defense out a little bit as well too, and hopefully make some big plays there. And then special teams again is going to be huge in this ball game. Our return team, our coverage team, they've blocked some punts, they've had some onside kicks, and their return team has been explosive all year long. So we're going to have our hands full trying to contain them.
Best of luck on Friday, Coach.
All right, thanks, Adam.
Cory Yeoman, head coach of the Penn Kingsmen, join us here on the Penn Preview on the Regional Radio Sports Network. You can listen to the Penn football game this Friday night at Freed Field at 7:30 Eastern Time on 91.1 The Globe, 95.3 Michiana's News Channel, and, of course, the award-winning Regional Radio Sports Network.